My savior. Oh, thank the gods. Your arrival couldn't have been more timely. I wouldn't have stood a chance against that beast. I owe you my life. Oh, Ambassador Falchion Hildegard at your service. And you must be our Imperial envoy. Better late than never, I say. The Living Lands is a tad rustic for our tastes, isn't it? Aren't you going to introduce me to your capable companion? Can he be trusted? I found it pays to be prudent about the company you keep in Paradis. The Empire doesn't have many friends on these shores.
Hey, not with that attitude.
I'm charmed. I take it you had business with the Claviger? Poor fellow. It was the bear that killed him, of course. This wilderness has been a little too wild of late. I'm a woodsman, but I'm inclined to agree. We heard alarming reports of a blight in the wilderness, and a strange corruption moving toward the city. The changes in the ecosystem are expected, but this one was progressing too rapidly to ignore. We tracked the corruption all the way here, but all we found was that creature gone mad. So, the rumors of plague were true. The situation is more dire than I imagined. We need a plan of action before whatever this is consumes the Living Lands.
We are here. Come to us. Commune with us. We have waited for you. Come.
What's the matter? Can you hear me? Well, that's encouraging. The Emperor trusts your judgment, and so do I. Whatever you think is best, I'll support it. You know something of our troubles. That much is clear. What would you have us do? You suspect a connection. Interesting. Ardra is said to be filled with essence, soul stuff. Maybe the essence will respond to a godlike's touch. Oh, just be careful. The Emperor would never forgive me if anything happened to you.
Take it slow. We'll be right here.
Poor bastard. One of Ludwine's toy soldiers. I never even learned their name. Not that it would have done us any good.
It is you. Come closer. We feared you were but a dream. We wake from seasons of slumber. We have been waiting. We were drowning in our nightmares for so long. Your hand was a branch. Escape! We reached for you. And you are familiar to us. Our memories are fractured, but you too are alone in your strangeness. Godlike. This term means nothing to us, but why would you belong to another, shackled to their will? Shackled like us to rot and corruption. It spreads and festers and seeps and crawls. Poor bear, poor us, poor you. Yes, the air sings with its spores. It is everywhere. We can feel it, we fear it, we can see where it spreads. It is an infection. A foreign body invades, the host fights back. We feel the pain of this intrusion. It overwhelms us. If an animal sickens after a fight, as it howls and sings its agony, what do? Nurse it, care for it, grow it like the vines. We were loved once, perhaps. We remember, almost. A thought, like motion in the water. The rot festers. We could suck the poison out, let green things grow in its place, and we could give you the gift of our healing touch. But a favor for a favor. Would you help us in return when we ask it? We offer you the power to heal and be healed, and you would wheedle and bargain? Decide, do you wish this power or not? A favor for a favor, then. This place shall heal, and you shall know our power. We tire. New again this world, new again words. We will find you soon.
incredible. Envoy, I don't know what you did, but that was miraculous.
You all right? You look like you were in a trance for several minutes.
What happened? You must be sensitive to the spirit world. Some are gifted, or cursed, with such talents. Inquisitor Ludwig will need to hear of this. I've agreed to share my findings with the Steel Garrote, as long as they do the same. Not that she has any interest in ecology. Ludwig is obsessed with our security, sees enemies lurking around every corner. The Steel Garrote provide us some much-needed protection, but they answer only to themselves. We have our interest in the living lands, and they have theirs. A mutually beneficial arrangement. Stay out of their way, and they'll return the favor. True. We all want what's best for the Empire. If only everything were that simple. We'll talk more at the embassy. I'll ensure the Paradis militia give you free passage into the city. Envoy, what you've done here is truly amazing. Let's keep up the good work, eh?
Just watch your step. There are swaths of the city barely more civilized than this. Whatever the Inquisitors are, she can't be worse than that thing, can she? You are full of surprises, Envoy. I'd heard godlikes have strange powers, but I've never known one to heal an entire grove. Guess your Emperor really did send the right person for the job, huh? Still, you have your work cut out for you in Paradis. Enjoy the calm while you can. Let's talk the next time where I can. I feel like I should know more about you.
The path to Paradis is a tad overgrown, but I can find my way back.
Hilgard doesn't seem like the kind of man you'd send to the frontier, does he? You seem much better suited to it. You know, for most people, getting sent to the Living Lands is a punishment. But, according to Steenrick, you're the personal envoy of the Emperor of Adir himself. Quite a position. Now I've got to wonder what you did to get on his bad side. The Living Lands is a far cry from fancy parties and court events. The Living Lands won't disappoint in that regard. Though I should warn you, you can't rely on charm against Azorup. I look forward to being proved wrong on that account. But that brings me to the real question. Why would the Emperor of Adir send a noble all the way to the Living Lands? Oh, that almost does sound like a punishment. I don't know how you investigate a so-called plague of the soul, so better you than me. Being a godlike, I don't suppose your patron deity gives you any unique insights into matters of the soul, do they? I thought every godlike knew their god. That's one of the stranger things I've heard. And out here, that's saying something. Sorry. Now that we've seen the Dream Scourge, I understand what the fuss is about. Refugees are flooding in from outlying regions. The guards are restricting access to the city. And people are making offerings to the gods for everything from hangovers to indigestion. And here I was hoping for good news. Unfortunately, the presence of so many Adiran troops and the rumored exploits of the Steel Garrote paladins supporting them is only making a tense situation worse. I think that's why the Clavenger accompanied your ambassador. Don't get me wrong, we have had a welcome reprieve from the usual muggings and murders since your country folk started arriving en masse. But I don't know how long that'll last. We're talking about an island that has been largely settled by nomads, exiles, and dissidents. People who tend to be suspicious of authority. But what about you? What's your stake in things? Besides your orders, of course. Ah, I used to march to a similar drumbeat back when I served in the Rawatayan Navy. But that's a story for another time. I'll let you get some rest, but thanks for talking. It's good to be part of a squad again, even if it's just for a while. It's the gateway to the Living Lands, a scenic port city that's as beautiful and dangerous as the wilds around it. Most visitors enjoy some mariner's porridge at the Ballarrock, a back alley shakedown, and then the sudden return of that porridge out of one end or the other. Then, if they've got any sins, they turn around and take their chances back where they came from, with authentic tales of their adventures in the Living Lands. Exactly. What's not to love? These days, we have a few more would-be adventurers trying to leave their mark on the place. The Living Lands means a hard-won second chance for the people who settle here. But first, you've got to survive it. And the island gives no quarter. For a lot of people, the Living Lands is a last resort. They come fleeing war, debt, famine, the law. Take your pick. For others, it's freedom. To seek glory, to redefine yourself, to live in a way you can't, maybe even on pain of death wherever you come from. Oh, little of everything. Rawatai is famous for storms and rocky soil, so I figured if I'm going to live in a hostile environment, why not pick some place where things grow? It seemed like a good idea at the time. Used to be, if you could last out here, you could count on being left alone. That's what some fear. Ilgard's new embassy and his alliance with the Steel Garrote smell like the authority and order that a lot of people came here to leave behind. But I don't mean to put that on you. I imagine you're tired of having to answer for every Adiran who sneezes into somebody's stew. They say people afflicted with it have strange vivid dreams and start confusing them with reality. What starts as a light daze becomes severe disorientation and eventually a bent towards chaotic violence. And then, fungal growths take over your body. So Dream Scourge. No, Dream Scourge is different. It spreads all over. Still, if you see any new mushrooms sprouting up anywhere unexpected, let me know. Until then, look on the bright side. The Living Lands is filled with people and things that are likelier to kill you first. My favorite subject. What gave it away? My finely pointed teeth, or the striking blue of my scales? Fair enough. My people are known to roam. Rauatai's hardly a hospitable environment. Many of us end up settling elsewhere, or making a living on the go. That's where you get the popular image of the Amawa bodyguard or mercenary. Don't sell me short. I've also been a drifter, a middling carpenter, and a terrible card player. We should play sometime. I'll show you. Then you must have come during our sunny season. Lashed by storms, battered by waves. We call it the rough country. And old trenchers say it's made us who we are. We do a lot of digging for irrigation, drainage, warfare, the occasional village tournament. Anyone from Rauatai has spent enough time in some kind of hole in the ground to be on a first-name basis with the worms. So, trenchers. Those of us who leave are scramble roots, hardy weeds that can survive just about anywhere. Then it won't surprise you that many leave, and not just because of the hardships. The land can't support everyone. Not that we don't do our damnedest to beat it into shape. Our coral masons have built living harbors and fortifications along the coast to protect our ships and shelter our cities. For all our shortage of fertile soil, Rauatai's land is abundant in saltpeter, copper, iron, most of the other materials you need to outfit your military with weapons and cannons. We value struggling and striving together. It helped us survive and build one of the most powerful navies in Aora. You're not wrong. Though, my countrymen would point out that we had to expand to find fertile land to feed our people. And the scattered kingdoms we've absorbed in the process have joined one of the most advanced nations in the world. And that's what I like about the Living Lands, where most civic concerns are about as nuanced as a wall of sharpened stakes. Until recently, anyway. That must have been 6 years ago now. I guess I was drifting, looking for a change. A settlement called Thirdborn. It's a rugged little place, lots of Rauataian expatriates. It really was. Anyway, we were talking about something else, yeah? I joined up with the Rauatai Navy as soon as I was old enough. I was part of our campaign to establish a foothold in the Deadfire Archipelago. Part of a long-term effort to reclaim our ancestral homeland and feed Rauatai from Deadfire's fertile soil. I believed in that mission. Additionally, we were helping Deadfire, bringing organization to the pirate-ridden archipelago and civilization to our distant Wana cousins. To add, they're bringing order and civilization to our lawless frontier? Then I hope you learn from my mistakes faster than I did. The Huana didn't want us there. We spent almost as much time fighting the tribes as we did pirates and Wilder. And it was hard to see how any of our fighting and dying was feeding people back home. I'd always heard that war was supposed to temper us, strengthen us. But I didn't see that either. I deserted. And I bounced between different mercenary companies for almost 10 years. Hey, not all of us catch on so quick. Besides, there were only so many options for a Rowatayan deserter with no training and anything else. As a mercenary, I figured I could at least choose my battles and my crew. You figured it out faster than I did. It was more of the same. The only comfort was being part of a squad. By the time I came to the Living Lands, I'd seen enough. Had enough. I did. Yeah. For a while. Look, if I can give you some hard-won advice, stay on your toes. You're in a difficult position. Whatever your role asks of you, make sure it's something you're willing to give. Because you're the one who has to live with the consequences. Hey, advice is easy. The hard part's all you. By the way, now that we've gotten to know each other, let me know if you want to train together. I've been watching your form, and I think we could learn from one another. Yeah, I've watched your form as I've gotten to know you, and it's excellent. You're smaller than I am, but I picked up a few tricks from seeing the way you move on the battlefield. I'm happy to return the favor if there's anything I can teach you. Some of that is sheer stubbornness, but I can give you some pointers on your stance, too. That's it. You got the hang of it. I look forward to seeing what you can do when we get back out there tomorrow. In the meantime, get some rest. After your voyage, it must be nice. To spend the night on dry land. Personally, I've always found the rocking of a ship to be soothing. As long as I've got my feet facing the bow, that is. I haven't seen this much excitement in a while. Perhaps... I've got you to thank for bringing it with you. You envoy.
letters won't turn up. Que larde. I'd heard a godlike had come to Paradis.
Oh, hey, Sansa. Comes on a little strong, that's all. He doesn't bite.
But to meet you, what an honor. Who is your patron? Were you drawn to this place? You can? Wait, you're pulling my leg, aren't you? I apologize. Everyone must ask you such things. Listen, you haven't been to the wilds east of the city, have you? I assume that's a no? Then have you seen a cartographer in the area? A human, about my height. He must have gone farther than I thought. His name is Girmund. He's my assistant, and I'm worried about him. I sent him to map the eastern wilds. I knew it would be perilous, but it's been a long time since he's written, even for him. Cartography is not for the slight. It requires a certain initiative.
You know how many so-called adventurers I've saved out there?
It's an intrepid occupation.
3, this month.
As I said, if you find him and bring me his map, I'll be glad to pay you for it. I may even have more work for you. When he last wrote, he was mapping the eastern ruins. Take the letter. It might help. If you find him, bring his work to my shop in Paradis Town. You're welcome anytime. I have quite the assortment of curios. Maybe you'll even buy one of my maps.
Well... Well, that's our marching... That's our marching orders, then.
That's far enough, Outlander. Well, well. If it isn't the new arrival. So eager to make a name for herself. We have a problem, all right? And I've got the solution tucked in my sheath.
Unless you're hearing that from a handsome stranger in the bathhouse, that's usually an invitation to trouble. And not as fun as the kind you get into in the steam.
Me and Pod, we aren't so fond of Outlanders. Especially ones looking as strange as you. For all we know, you're one of those sick bastards. A plague carrier. A blight on our fair city.
Hey, boss. We are a little light on coin.
Shut it, Pod. Let me do the talking.
You're doing great so far. Really menacing.
No one brings the plague into my town, Outlander. No one. At least you can die knowing it wasn't personal. Pod isn't going anywhere. Are you, kid?
I don't know.
Hey, don't you be filling his head with nonsense.
I can't do this anymore. Thieving and killing, it's just not in my blood.
You ungrateful nitwit! Once I'm done with the Outlander, I'm coming after you.
Good. I was getting tired of listening to them anyway. Here we go!
Worth it? Run!
That's one for us.
Nice banner, ain't it? I found it on the beach, covered in bird shit. Must have washed ashore from parts unknown. Gods be with you, envoy.
Welcome to Paradis, Envoy. The ambassador's expecting you.
Good work out there, Envoy. Only just arrived and you're already the talk of the town. Well, the ambassador ordered me to give you free access to the city. No idea why he's calling the shots all of a sudden, but...
That sounds ominous.
Anyway, you can go on ahead. The ambassador's expecting you. And a chance to rest your weary legs, I reckon. Once you're in the city, you'll find the Adiran embassy due north of the gatehouse. Take care, Envoy.
What? No parting words from me? After all the time we spent together?
Shove off, Muttonhead. How's that for a parting word?
With talk like that, it's no wonder the Adirans think we need a little civilizing. At least I'm in good company now, right?
Envoy!
You should not be here. You should be free, whole, the blood feeding your veins. Why are you here? The arrow struck. Then your soul found us, here in the emptiness, where the gods live and the dead wait. A cage, a prison. We feel the souls of multitudes, a current beneath the skin of this place. We could dip our hand in once, feel them near us. But now, we are trapped like wasps in amber. But you should be alive. Worse, you died. Someone cut short your span. An arrow broke the skin. It carried poison to your veins. A festering blot of corruption spread through the root and sap. It stilled your heart. It silenced the song in your mind. They hurt you, but we do not hear rage hissing in you like a serpent. Why? Soften. Quiet. You would accept the winter before spring, but you do not understand. Your soul is imprisoned here, as are we. But We can help you. We could send you back. Just this once. We are bound. We are leaf and root. We are stream and sea. Help us. We sense the rot and we fear it. We fear how it seeps into us, into our memories. You must find us, free us from our prison. Like a scent in the wind, yes. We will show you, but first, we will free you. Immensely. Breathe deep. All birth is agony.
You're awake? Thank the gods. For a second there, I thought I had a problem on my hands. You're alive, somehow. That's what counts.
Glad to see you with us. I was sure you were already on your next trip around the wheel, but I brought you here just in case. If anyone can work a miracle, it's Liviana, though whatever restored you is beyond even her skill. That's what everyone in Paradis is asking. The streets have been less murderous since your ambassador and his guards took up residence. But your assassination is bound to upset that uneasy peace.
There's something I still don't understand. Envoy, you died. A resistance to poison isn't a resistance to the beyond.
What does this mean for her? Should she expect anything else strange? Other than coming back from the dead, I mean.
That depends on a few things. Visions and hallucinations? Likely. Manifestations of past lives? Uncommon, but possible. Sounds like the echo of a past life. I wish I could tell you more. This is far beyond my expertise. You should visit Runid, our local watcher. She would know what to make of your strange, stubborn soul. I don't blame you for your misgivings, but Runid is the real thing. Go and see for yourself. A watcher examines the soul down to its very core. I can't think of anyone more qualified for the job. Runid's shop is in the hills to the northeast. A bit of a walk. Just head out of the gate to the east of town and follow the path that curves to the north. It should be perched up in the hills. Oh, but avoid the watcher in Hightown. She's a known charlatan. I'll send word to the ambassador that you survived, but he'll no doubt want to talk to you. I hope you aren't thinking of confronting your killer. Not that it's any of my business. Head up the stairs outside my clinic and take a left onto the main road. That'll get you to the embassy. Apologies. Paradis is a bit of a maze, especially to newcomers.
Don't worry. I know my way around. Which is why I should go with you. Your assassination is bound to have stirred things up. Your troops are going to be on edge until your killer's found, and some of us still have to live here. The sooner we solve your murder, the better for everyone. And we should talk back at camp. I'm hoping you can help me understand what just happened to you.
Hey, I had a dream about you. In my dream, you were surrounded by light, but it was shining from inside. You weren't alone either. There were others. Some of them loved you, others were afraid of you, but they all followed you. Also, there was a tree that... It wasn't a tree? Oh, it made sense at the time. I can't remember anymore. It's a pity dreams aren't made to last. Stay safe. You don't want to end up back here again.
Envoy, could I speak with you for a moment?
You? Still can't believe you're alive.
Envoy, hello. I'm glad to see you on your feet. Kai. Tej. I'm surprised they let you in here. I'm surprised you're still gainfully employed. He started it. Besides, the arrowhead lodged in your gut tells me you can do plenty of that on your own. I didn't mean anything by it, Envoy. He's just curious company for you to keep. Hey, somebody has to have the envoys back, because you all sure didn't. No one expected the envoy to get assassinated. Exactly. Amateurs. Well... Kai? Come on, it's funny. Tej caused a ruckus last time he was slumming it at the Ballarrock. You were trying to kill a man, if I remember right. I had to put you outside. You threw me into the canal. You lived. That water's filthy. I had the runs for 3 days. Gods, Tej. The envoy doesn't need to know that. The fellow cheated me. I couldn't let that slide. Or he'd think we were all marks. It was over a dice game, right? Tej here has a gambling problem. Great. Let's air all my troubles. Is there anything else? The bartender sleeping with your girlfriend. You're lying. You sure about that? We'll talk about this later. I'm not breaking up with her for you. Just so we're clear. That's more than enough. Thank you. Was there anything I could help you with, Envoy? At your leisure, Envoy. I'll be here if you need me.
Envoy, is it really you? I can't believe you're alive. When they dragged you to Liviana's clinic, I assumed the worst. How do you feel? Homesick already? After what you've been through, I can't say I blame you. But there's work to be done on the frontier. Good work, and I need you here at my side. Our first order of business is your purpose here in the Living Lands. Captain Cynric said you have a missive for me from the Emperor. Executed faithfully, Envoy. Very good. I'm eager to see what our Emperor intends. Now, His Majesty names you a loyal servant of the Adiran Empire, and an extension of the throne's authority. Thank goodness. At least someone understands the gravity of our situation. With that, I had better news for him. You've seen how wild the Living Lands has become, both in nature and in politics. Sometimes I think the island has a mind of its own. No sooner had you arrived than you found yourself at the center of our troubles. That you are, and not just on account of your noble heritage. This embassy has no shortage of political foes, but the Dream Scourge is what keeps me up at night. You've seen firsthand what it can do in nature. We can't let it reach the cities. Inquisitor Ludwig thinks the plague is a distraction. She's more concerned about these local rebels fighting against the Empire. Your instincts do you credit. They were Paradisans once, law-abiding laborers. Now, they're fugitives and oath-breakers hiding amongst the populace. They've sabotaged our work, killed our soldiers, and the final straw, attacked you out in the open. Something about a labor dispute gone wrong, I think. The Steel Garrote got involved, and it turned quite ugly.
A lot of disputes arise because people here have a strong aversion to being told what to do.
I won't lie to you, Envoy. Our position is tenuous. If we can't even defend ourselves, how are we to defend the living lands? But defend it we must, for the sake of everyone who calls this island home. Inquisitor Ludwig demands that someone hang for the attempt on your life. These Paradisan rebels must face justice. Ludwig goes where she likes, haunting the living lands like a vengeful spirit. She'll reappear when she chooses, and not a moment sooner. Let's make sure to give her some good news for a change.
Not many get a chance to solve their own murder, you know. I know someone who could help. A dwarven tracker named Marius. Kith or beast, there's little he can't find. He's staying at the Grinning Ballarrock, not far from Liviana's infirmary. We just take the main road east to the market, then head down the stairs and cross the canal. Rough part of town, even by the standards of Paradis. I can tell you're skeptical, but remember that you're an outsider here, and a lot of Kith aren't exactly thrilled to see so many Adirans in their midst.
New weeds, a new beast in the tall grass. Predator or mate?
As you've seen firsthand. You could use some local help, especially if we really are after Paradisans.
I suggest you recruit as many allies as you can, but choose carefully. They, like you, will represent the Empire. But before we can send you off to parts unknown, we need assurances from the local healer that you're fully recovered. After all, you survived a brush with death. The health of your body is one thing. The health of your soul is another. An unusual course of treatment, but who am I to argue? Remember, the assassin is out there. You have the element of surprise. I suggest you use it. Oh, the people will love it. Nothing pleases them more than watching a noble dirty their hands. We'll talk more of the Dream Scourge when you return. Until then, Envoy.
How about we start with Marius at the Grinning Ballarrock? Besides, I could use a drink after all this.
Stand back.
I don't think the new owners like company.
Excellent time!
I was just getting warmed up. Guess the deer and discipline doesn't.
Mine now! One for you!
Poison. We should find Marius. He could tell us more.
Godlike. So, you're that godlike, the Adiran envoy. You're the one who saves the ambassador from the Strangleroot, right? I'm just trying to help some friends of mine. They're Adirans, but they've had a string of bad luck. Is there any chance you could lend them a hand? Galarde. Lofthled and Gladwine came here about 8 years ago, long before the recent rush of Adirans. They admitted to having a checkered past back home, but they started a new life in Paradis. Back then, you'd struggle to find an Adiran in the city. Now they're everywhere. That's all very well for His Highness, but it was trouble for my friends. Per complanca. Anyway, with all these Adirans coming in, Lofthled and Gladwine started spotting old faces. And if they were spotting old faces, it was only a matter of time before those faces started spotting them back. They're lying low in the shantytown for now, but they mean to leave for Thirdborn.
Adherents in the shantytown. I doubt they're getting a warm welcome. Most of the people there are Paradisans run out by Adir.
They're afraid to go out in public, and Gladwine, poor soul, he's gone blind from bad drink. Ah, but you can. There are herbs in the wilds around Paradis that can restore Gladwine's sight. It's a little too dangerous for us ordinary folks, but for the Adiran envoy, for the hero who braved the strangle route, I'm sure it will be no problem.
Ending with flattery is a nice touch.
Agrasima. Many thanks, envoy. Oh, there is one more thing they need. Land deeds. They've already paid for them. There's a Rawatayan in the Pearl District, Mako, who was handling the paperwork. No. We had a falling out a while back. It's best if someone else goes. Thank you, envoy. God bless you.
Walk in, give her the letter, and go. You can do that.
I always thought they should move to High Market. Then they'd make enough to eat.
What do you want? Quickly! I have an audience waiting for me. You did. Well, not so much reciting it as beating it to death. My friends thought it'd be funny to get roaring drunk last night. Only one showed up today, and he was in no shape to perform. They've all gathered out there, and I don't have a show to give them. I can't play every part myself. I just can't. You're right. I was foolish to even consider it. I wasn't cut out for this Esperanto. I'm not here either. I'll have to come up with some excuse for why we're closed today. Just leave me be, will you? Haven't you gawked at me enough? Haven't you gawked at me enough?
I wouldn't go up there, stranger. That's Sparrowhawk territory. Hail. I take it you're new to these parts? If so, you're going to want to heed my advice. Up these stairs is the Pearl District. Ever since the Sparrowhawks took over, it's become a right deadly place. A group of smugglers, vicious killers, the lot of them, as far as I'm concerned. A number of artisans actually support these piles of Stelgar dung, if you can believe it. They see them as a beacon of independence, resisting your countrymen. Oh, watch out for their leader. He's a big, mean bastard, that one.
Big? No offense, but I've eaten chickens bigger than you.
Says you, fishman. Can you believe the cheek on that one? Thala the Taskmaster, they call him. An ogre, if you can believe it. Only seen him once, myself, and I hope it stays that way. I hope you're right. We'll see soon enough, eh?
Adherents ain't welcome around the Pearl District. Mind yourself.
Smile, and you break it, you buy it. Wonder who he crossed. Doesn't take much out here. Those are the papers the Adiran refugees are waiting for.
Still alive, huh? Don't go up these stairs if you want to keep it that way.
pass through the gate now.
Surprised they let us walk out of here.
Listen, this is something I never thought I'd have to ask, but can we talk about you coming back from the dead? What, that? I'm just real good at dealing with my emotions. You see, I bottle them up for a while, and then I let them out all at once.
But don't dodge the issue. We're talking about your abbreviated death. By the time I got you to Liviana's, I don't think you had a pulse. You certainly weren't breathing.
You must have spent 20 minutes as a corpse on one of her cots before you just came back. What did you see while you were gone? What do you remember? Watchers say souls can linger between this world and the beyond for a time. I've seen Runid talk to them a few times, almost in a trance. What happened next? The beyond. That's the realm of the gods, of souls. Well, that sounds kinda nice. What did you see there? Wait, someone? Who was it, or what was it? Well, that's good. Imagine how much worse this would be if you had two cryptic entities clamoring for your attention. So, someone is reaching out to you from the beyond. They saved you from death, and now they want you to free them from wherever they are. Do you trust them? Even if you wanted to leave them there, I get the feeling they're not going to leave you alone. Well, even in the land of the strange, you have had the strangest experience I've ever heard of, and you haven't even left Dawnshore. That's quite a feat. At least you have a sense of humor about it. So, this whole time you were in the beyond, and then you were just sent back. Do you think there's a way to bring people back from the dead? Yeah, probably not. Still, thanks for humoring me. You must be tired. I know I am. Hopefully that Watcher Runid will have some answers for us. For now, let's get some rest.
Night, Envoy.
The wood echoes, strangled suffering. We knew this creature. Still waters, you merely dream. The bear, the rot in the heart. Did its beauty sing to you? Wilt then grow again. What gleams cannot be a monster? We wish you had not killed it. Cull the sickness, clear the rot, kill one to save the other. Still, violets and the stars, we wish for both. Hope into tears. Must all we love turn to ash? Can we not save it? Even if... No, we should not question this. Mercy like a knife. It hunts all of us. God, mortal, beauty. Sleep now. We ponder.
Right behind you. Oh, no, you don't! No point in wasting bullets. Is that all you got? That armor won't hold up. Try a better weapon. Time to rally. You're not looking so good. You okay? Right flank! Unseen, unheard. Nice work. That'll help. Help against whatever we face out there.
Thoughts and whispers, we feel them rumble beneath the surface. We smell conflict, kith turn on kith. We do not understand. An ancient place, the exiles' place. They come on foreign ships, exiles grafted from other trees. The salt clings to their hair, the scent of distant shores to their skin. New growth from dead wood. Why? A new season. Wipe the slate. But the ground stirs. New roots seek to grow taller than the old. They bring banners, arrows, swords. What do they seek from us? The city shudders. Voices rise. Wolves fighting for territory. Is the instinct to conquer innate? Order. A bush pruned into obedience. We fear. Wait. We have forgotten something. A memory we misplaced. We reach for it. It calls to us. A past. Theirs. Ours. The layers of the land. It whispers in the eastern wilds. This is all we know. We learn much. Sleep now. Dream of warm tides and purple leaves.
stand there and gawk at that body all day?
He's dead. It's not... You! What are you doing? This is a crime scene! That's evidence.
That's the Imperial envoy. Stay out of her way.
Oh, right. My mistake.
We could speak another time, perhaps.
So, you're the one they all crow about, eh? Best hunter and guide in all of Donshell?
Just Donshell?
Ha! The mighty Marius, deep in his cups, ready to take on the deadliest prey, providing they're asleep at the time.
Right. Take another sip of my cool. Rude not to finish a drink someone bought for you.
No wonder you're hiding behind a mug. You're too worried about being polite to survive out there.
The dwarf there is Marius. Best tracker I know. Just watch. This'll be good.
I heard you're from Solace Keep. How great a survivor could you be, hiding behind stone walls all your life?
You don't know anything about me, you Adiran Nimdut. So maybe go back and take another blessed day sip.
But here you are. Tell me, how does one get kicked out of a place that never lets anyone leave?
Dukte Drago Sakasat Jitule. You want to talk so much, I'll cut you a second mouth across your throat.
Marius can handle himself. Of course, if you're bored, we could always... I'm with you. Ready to crack some heads.
You stay out of it, Envoy. This isn't your problem.
They say she has the Emperor's ear. Might not be worth the trouble.
The gods smile on you today, Marius. You won't always have someone around to protect you. Leave us alone.
Well, that was something. Thanks for stepping in there. I had it handled, but I'm happy I didn't have to.
Marius, this is the infamous Adiran envoy. Envoy? Marius.
Well, any friend of Kai's is definitely a... person.
We were both crossing the same patch of forest at the same time a couple years ago. There were some boars in heat I may have helped him with.
They were squirrels, and I had them well under control. If I'm not mistaken, you're looking for someone to help find the people who killed you. I need to see the scene of the crime, over by the town gates. I promise there's something left there we can use to track them. The assassins wouldn't go near that place anytime soon. And you don't have to worry much about people cleaning up in this town. We'll figure this out, Amakul. Don't you worry.
Oh, hey, Envoy. Appreciate you stopping that fight. I haven't known many Adirans who tried to settle things peaceably. If that's why you did it, you've got your work cut out for you. Now, what'll it be?
saved my life. He would have killed me, and all for a few coins.
Think nothing of it. Any law-abiding citizen would have done the same.
This may not be the prettiest part of town, but it's got the grinning Valor Rock.
Spare a coin. Just need a little to get by. Haven't you adherents taken enough?
Envoy.
Nothing to see here, Envoy. The situation's under control. And what do you think would have happened if I hadn't stepped in? I caught this waste of life mugging a protected citizen. I just did what came naturally.
This comes naturally to you? Were you raised in Gallowayne's tusks?
I thought all Paradisans were protected citizens.
These things happen from time to time. Inquisitor Ludwine understands. So that's how it is. All right then, whatever you say. We aren't exactly trained to de-escalate, but I'll tell the others. They'll come around, eventually.
Not sure she'll take it to heart, but even one good example helps.
Nice work, calling her out like that. That should make her pause and reflect next time she thoughtlessly murders someone. Why people choose to live in a place like this. We'll never know.
Many didn't. Paradis doesn't have room for all of the Adiran new arrivals.
Of course. Nothing else.
Take that back. There's some good people here.
Little shits!
Yeah, all getting robbed by the lot.
Nice and quiet here. Take a moment to breathe.
Stay back! They might circle around. I don't want you to get hurt. They've got my crew's swollen nets. The one treasure I have in this world, but no. I can't even keep that. I've climbed rigging for years. It's not like I can't fetch them myself, but... what if the birds knock me off? They're medallions, small, nothing valuable. Sailors in my, alliance. Make them to identify themselves. You're that envoy, aren't you? The one who was, killed in the street. Yeah. I guess you've dealt with worse. I start looking in high places around the shantytown. I don't know why they line their nests with them, but I bet that's where they are.
Would it even make a difference if I said don't do it?
Hope you're limber and light on your feet. Oh, and don't mind getting pecked.
Ugh. Did this place always smell like sweat?
Hello? Please, we don't want any trouble.
Who is that, Loughlin? I hear unfamiliar footsteps, love.
Visitors, dearest. No one we know. Sorry for that. My husband's recently lost his sight. He's easily confused. Can I help you with something? Did Ramay tell you we have enemies back in Adia?
It's true. Only a matter of time before their friends spot us in the city.
We don't want any trouble. Just to live our lives in peace. So, it's time to move on. Only it's not so easy as just walking out the door. First off, we need herbs.
Andra's kiss, the apothecary said. I should be able to get these eyes back in shape.
Only the apothecary didn't have any. Said it grows by the Eastern Gorge, overlooking the massive skeleton of some beast. Dangerous place. Oh, well, that makes it easy. Ah, thank you kindly. If it's not too much to ask, we also need to get our land deeds for Thirdborn. We bought them through an Almaua broker in the city, but we haven't been able to get them.
Oh, it's a miracle, love.
That it is. Thank you again. We can't thank you enough. There is one thing more, though.
Oh, yes. That.
The smugglers who are taking us out of here, they're beached north of the sea stacks, away from where the Adirans are looking. No, it's not that. The problem is that these smugglers found out we're Adiran.
Don't like us much.
And they've doubled their price. We had barely enough for the journey before. Yes, I'm afraid we can't pay what they're asking.
And if they knew what we were wanted for, they'd probably charge us triple.
Bloodwine!
Oh, I mean... Oh, shit.
Good. Thank you. We appreciate the help, and we'd rather not relive our past.
A lot of people come here running from something. Most want to leave it behind.
Supplies you need for a price. Has to be around here somewhere. No offense meant, but I need to keep this area clear. Please step away. If you must know, I am searching for an item of great import. Life and death, you might say, if you ask my wife. I seem to have lost my wedding ring down the latrine. It simply must be around here somewhere. Oh, I would be forever grateful if you found and returned my ring. You would save me from a night in the shed. For sure.
clearly is tits. Someone was actually brazen enough to sneak into the camp for this. This.
People are happy. Just another day in paradise, eh?
Take a moment, people. I bet the soldiers died first, and then the bear died of food poisoning.
Bad luck to hang around a graveyard. Maybe we should move on.
We've got trouble. Uninvited company.
Grave robbers. Reincarnated as rats. Gonna step up.
Stop right
Worth that rough! Worth that rough!
Another win, but who's counting?
Yeah.
Next one's mine.
Don't die. On your left.
We're set rough!
Nice.
We're set rough!
Looks like the Adirans already tried negotiating with these Zarps.
Keep quiet.
We're set rough! We're set rough! Urzen!
Oh, no, you don't.
Zarps ahead. Mogren's fury. Keep it away from gunpowder, or you'll be as bald as me.
Take him down. Take your best shot. Well done.
quiet, Lindert.
Nothing to see here, friend.
It's all right.
Look alive, ladies and gents. We have a visitor. Ah, a kind-hearted Adiran. How nice for them to find a friend here. The way I understand it, they don't have many friends among your countrymen.
Take it easy on her, Saldice. She's all right. For an Adiran.
Fine, if you say so. Well, what do you want? No deal. Pay the difference, or forget it.
Saldice, the envoy saved my life at Northreach.
And glad I am that you're here. But a deal is a deal. We don't give handouts.
It's 2 clients. Believe me, you don't want to get on her bad side.
Oh, Andra's tits! Are we a charity now? Fine. Tell your miserable countrymen the deal is settled. Free of charge. We'll take them to Thirdborn when they're ready.
Literally, don't mention it. Remember, I still don't know you. Appreciate you talking things down.
Don't worry, this place is sturdier than it looks.
You're back. Praise. Ah, you've come back. Any news? Oh, wonderful. How did you do it? Did you hear that, dearest?
I did, love. Praise Wodaka.
Thank you so much for all of your help, Envoy. I don't think we'll be needing these anymore. Please, take them. Now, if you'll excuse us, we need to get ready for the journey.
And if you ever find your way to Thirdborn, please, come find us. It would be lovely to see you again.
It's rare to see a real second chance. Rare, but refreshing.
You just saved their lives, Envoy. Well done.
No one tops my prices, guaranteed. I've seen you before, haven't I? Or maybe heard someone talking about you? Welcome to my store, if I haven't got it. The envoy from Adir, perhaps? There's a buzz anytime someone from the Empire arrives on these shores. You'll get no trouble from me, though the Adirans tend to do their shopping within the wall. Cheap wares for cheap folks.
Any luck with the search? Well, not the gods. Thank you. Let me see them. Don't worry, I will. In fact, you can have mine. It's enchanted. Might be some kind of luck for you. Don't mention it. Just one more thing. All this time, I've been sure this was Helia's doing, but maybe it's just superstition. Do you really think the gods curse us over past mistakes? That's what I was afraid of. Still, thanks. It's good to remember. Now I probably owe Helia an apology for all this.